Hello and welcome to another weekend of a Punters Guide. Delighted to say Jason We've, as always, is joining us to preview the action. Jason, we're just a few days away from 4 fabulous days on the Knavesmire at York. Maybe paying for that with some small fields this weekend, or is it the ground factor with the heat wave, no rain around? Or why have we got small fields?
Maybe it's because everybody's up at York at the moment, building a net up at the end of the straight to slow Baid down when he comes down the final quarter mile there, just to make sure they catch him before the town centre. Look, as far as the small fields are concerned, we all know that there's a massive amount of racing compared to the horse population and certain levels of it. The most worrying factor for me was that when it was put to the powers that be, they said, well, it's okay, we'll look at it in 2024. That's not good enough. That's not good enough at all. Look where we are, what month we are. We've got the remainder of the campaign. We've got whole of next season as well. Something has to happen before that. Otherwise, we're going to be dogged by it. We're going to be absolutely dogged by it. You know, we were lucky enough to have some decent racing for decent money recently for the likes of the Shergar Cup and the Racing League. So that is what is needed. More money, less races.
I'll try and find some winners then to boost the betting bank ahead of these fabulous 4 days at York. We're starting at Newbury then, the 120, a 10 furlong handicap. Hopefully the dead eight do go. Where's the money going? Yes, he definitely, I thought was interesting, sneaking in right at the bottom for Rafe Becker. He's having a good summer.
Yeah, he is. He gets the tongue tie on for the first time, which may help him. He seemed to get put in his place by a Prescott improver last time. Admittedly, the horse was going through the grades and was winning his third on the belt in a small field. And he just looked laboured in the closing stages. So maybe the tongue tie will help. I think he's a player. Everybody's going to latch on to Fran Tank, who goes for the Haggis Marquand combination. But there was no real excuse for such a bad run at Sandown last time. I think he's a false favourite. It's one of those that just people latching on to the trainer stats, if you like. The two that interest me, close to the top and the bottom, definite has to be a player. Rogue Rocket ran really well from the back of the pack at Sandown last time. That was over the mile. Young lad takes 7 off. Connor Planis is a very, very good rider indeed. And with his 7 off, it drags him back down to a rating of 77. And I think he could be competitive off that. He wasn't cheap, 52,000 as a 2-year-old. And I think Rogue Rocket is going to benefit from the step up in trip on a more galloping track. We'll go with him.
Yeah, Rogue Rocket for the Rogues Gallery in the opener at Newbury. Move on to the 155 then in Berkshire's listed contest for the juveniles again. Small fields, the 5 turn up. Got a bit of group form in here from Blue Light Bay. We've got 3 unbeaten runners, Ferrari Queen Sight and the Queen's Candle of Hope. But the market very much sided with the Godolphin runner Victory Dance.
Yeah, I think so. And look, Blue Light Bay has been put in his place twice by Royal Scotsman, once on debut, he wins at Windsor, and then in the Richmond. Candle of Hope, Newbury and Thirst wins. They were good. This demands much, much more. Side door won at Brighton, and then you got Ferrari Queen. Remember, she was Catch Me Katie was quite a good performer for Jeremy Nacida back in the day, fairly highly tried. And she looks the main danger. However, she was gifted an easy time on the front end at Kempton. This is going to be completely different, isn't it? You know, the 7 furlongs coming down there at Newbury, big open galloping track. Victory Dance is going to take a world of beating, isn't he? It was a brilliant run in the superlative behind Sir Isaac Shelby, was that his name? And he actually has got a Dewhurst entry and all those. I think Victory Dance will be too good.
Victory Dance will be too good then. 5 runners as well in the Geoffrey Freer at 231 for the last years by Hooker. And doesn't look like the strongest of renewals at all, does it? Zakari, the only 3-year-old in the field, who's been banging heads with some St. Ledger hopefuls, the likely market leader.
Yeah, he gets the decent weight for age £10 pull, so that's going to be swinging it in his favour. What happened to him up at Newmarket in the Bahrain Trophy behind Deauville Legend? He was very, very sweaty beforehand, got very keen, did that run in the Queen's Vase at Ascot behind Eldar Eldarov, leave its mark on him. That's the worry. I mean, away he goes, ran his best race in last year's Goodwood Cup behind Trushan. He hasn't come up with that since. Outboxers winning over in Doha. good in the Jockey Club Cup and has gone missing, was over in Belmont. Silence Please, 3 runs for the Balding team, 2 good, 1 bad one last time, over 2 miles. And then you got Universal Order. I think that he probably comes in with a bit of a ticket to improve. He ran really, really well up at Haydock last time in a solid handicap, Betfred handicap up there behind Contact. He probably just bounced. It was his 3rd run off a long layoff when we saw him last time. Surely that cannot be his running. I think that I'd rather side with him to bounce back to form than Zachariah. So I'll shy away from the Jolly. Universal Order, David Simcock, decent with these type of horses coming back in off a bad run.
Yeah, does encounters it many times with him. Universal Order then in the Jeffrey Freer for Jason. At the 3 o'clock, it should be the big handicap on the card, but only 7 runners going for this £25,000 prize. Over 7 first. Godolphin got one in here. Dance Fever, I thought was a little bit unlucky at Glorious Goodwood as well. Gisborne did catch the eye at Goodwood, staying on late on.
Yeah, it's a funny sort of race, isn't it? I mean, Gisborne had been winning over 6. Then he sort of proved that 7 furlongs was absolutely no problem for him. 5,000 to 1, we followed off the edge of a cliff. He's cost us a fortune. Again, one seemed to get the first run on him and he flies through the line. But he's an absolute nightmare. He can be far too keen in the early stages. I've no doubt he's got the most ability in the lineup. Dance Fever, that combination, Adam Kirby and Clive Cox are going for the hat trick of wins in this particular contest. And that was a really good run last time at Goodwood, so respected. And Documenting, I feel a bit sorry for him, actually. He got no luck, did he, in the International behind Fresh last time, just checked on heels. Silent Film, we don't know how good he is. And then my old favourite, who I put up for the Lincoln, you remember a long time ago, seems ages ago now, doesn't it? United Front. Why have they kept him off the track? And he returns absolutely thrown in on his all-weather form. I've just got a sneaky feeling with Frederick Larson taking up another 5 that he can outrun his odds. Look, can he win? Probably 5,000 to 1 because we've deserted him. But I just thought he was the wrong price, United Front. He's close to double digits. He may even slide a little bit. The paddock is going to be a help off a break. I think he's the wrong price in here.
Well, United Front, yes. So 4 months off the track for Mick Appley. Right. The big race of the day is the Hungerford Stakes, the Group 2. I love this race. It's a fascinating renewal. We've got horses progressing from handicaps, jumping up in grade. Horses dipping their toe back, having been tackling Group 1 company. 3-year-olds against older horses as well. And for me, Tiber Flow makes the market for William Haggis, the likely favourite.
Yeah, look, he needs to bounce back off the Commonwealth. Premio Baccio is obviously a good deal better than she's shown so far. The 3-year-olds in this get £6. So Concertina towards the bottom, Dubai Poet, Tiber Flow, Wings of War. Those are the ones with the weight advantage, if you like. We look like we're going to get a guaranteed pace. Pogo, probably an improved performer this year, and he always seems to get overlooked. Going to be hard for him, isn't it? You know, coming down Newbury, down the straight there. Chindit, well, wonderful horse. Maybe this is his absolute optimum distance, isn't it? I mean, I can go round and round and look at them. I probably think Chindit will be able to pick up the pieces late in the day. He's on his home track, if you like, for the Hannon camp, but he's going to be towards the top of the market. Wings of War, who goes for Adam Kirby and Clive Cox. Now, Adam gets on board. This is close to his absolute minimum weight at the moment, 9 stone 2. That's scraping the barrel for Kirby, trust me. He ran okay behind Go Bears Go. He's ran really well behind El Caballo earlier on in the campaign. It's the 7 furlongs. He's a great big powerhouse. And with Pogo, the likely pace setter in here, he's a massive price, huge price. He's not a million miles away with his £6 allowance. And I think if he gets the 7, he can get a slice of it and maybe even the whole pie. He's an each-way play.
Oh, yeah, Wings of War then for Clive Cox and Adam Kirby. For Jason, the Hungerford Stakes. One race I also want to talk about, of course, is the big betting race of the day. It is the Great St. Wilfrid over at Ripon. I mean, the smallest field since 2015, I think it is. No consolation race for the first time since that was brought in. But 15 go. You having a couple of darts, or do you fancy one strongly for the Great St. Wilfrid?
It's a funny sort of race this year, isn't it? You know, normally we get the split. So with the 15, I would imagine that they're all going to come to one side, you know, over towards the stand side rail, possibly. You know, unless any of the jocks drawn low. You got Black Rod, who has his first run for the Bethel team. He's drawn in one. Is he going to decide to dash over there? But it's not really been the place to go, is it? You know, you've got to try and smuggle your way over here. I've looked right down the bottom for my first pick, if you like, and horses that are just slightly out of the handicap. Embour ran really well in this last year off a higher mark behind Just Another Bottle. He ran a cracker behind Lord Ridderford at Goodwood last time, really hitting the line strongly. They offset that little weight correction, if you like, at the long handicap. Safi Osborne takes off 3. Got to be close down to her minimum in here. But I thought he was the wrong price. Ruth Carr, we know about the relationship. She won her grandfather's race there at Ripon just the other day. This is the one that they like to target. And he's dropped down from a mid-90s rating originally. So he's a big each-way player, Embour, as far as this is concerned. And then I go right up to the other end of the handicap, and I think that Summerghand is an absolutely reliable type in these sort of races. You know, Just Another Bottle's not well handicapped. Misty Grey is better on the all-weather. Hyper Focus has probably done his winning. Snash and Alcimo don't look good enough, and they're also at the wrong end of the handicap. So we've gone right down the bottom, Embour each way. Summerghand, you can never underestimate him in these type of races.
Ultra consistent, yeah. £10 below his Stewards Cup winning mark. Yeah, Summerghand runs all the big races for David O'Mara. Then, so a couple against the field for the great St Wilfred. What would be the idea of a best bet on the card on this Saturday to try and get the punters some cash ahead of the action on the names, Mike?
I know I said that was between 2 in the opening contest, but the more I look at Rogue Spirit, who gets us underway in the 120, I think that the mile and a quarter is definitely going to suit. A galloping track, he sort of was held up at the back of the pack when the pace was more towards the front end. Connor Planis, a young £7 claimer worth talking about. We're always going on about Benoit de la Salle and Harry Davis. This young lad can ride. He's good value for the 7.
There we are, then. Rogue Spirit, the 1 for Jason on a Saturday. Thanks to Jason for joining us. He'll be on ITV for 9 races on Saturday afternoon, wherever you're back in this weekend. The Ferry, best of luck.